going on, Dragon Ball fans? Unreal here, back once again with all 7 Dragon Balls gathered, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, none other than JrzSaiyan, a very special guest that I've never had featured on here, the first collab of the year, and today we'll be diving into the epic discussions surrounding the entirety of the Universal God Tournament between both Team Champa and Team Beerus, and the expectations that come alongside with it in terms of strength and who we believe is going to be the toughest character that will pretty much endure this entire tournament. Now, before we begin, guys, this is going to be an opinionated video, so if you guys have any comments of your own that differ or are related to mine and JrzSaiyan here, you guys can drop them down below. And so without any hesitation, let's begin. So now that we know what's what in Dragon Ball Super thus far, with the backstory that comes alongside with it, with the God Tournament shaping out to be very awesome, by the way, here's the deal. Now, we all know, I mean, who's set to collide and who, like, what the teams are essentially as of right now, but between all 10 characters, Mr. JrzSaiyan, who do you think is going to be the toughest rival amongst, the entirety of the group? Like, who do you think is going to be, the strongest amongst, everyone at the tournament? Because we all know how strong Goku and Vegeta are, but the question is there anyone, a part of this tournament who's going to be on par with them or stronger in terms of, like, power and just raw, energy that comes alongside with it? So, I would just want to know, like, do you believe that Goku and Vegeta are going to be the strongest, or do you think that there's going to be someone else amongst this tournament who's going to be, just as tough, if not tougher?
Now, this is really difficult because we don't know the exact extent of the power of, the whole enemy team of Champa's team, but I would say it's between. I don't know, it's really hard because you have that Cell-looking Frieza mirror person, right?
Yeah.
And then you have that Frieza character, Froze, which looks pretty badass. He's going to be real strong. But then you also have that Saiyan, and it makes me think, like, that Saiyan has to be somewhere near Goku and Vegeta's level. If not, it would be pretty much useless to bring another Saiyan into a Saiyan fight,
Absolutely.
And but from the actual team, I don't think Goku and Vegeta are gonna be the strongest. I do think the nipple guy will be the strongest.
So the dude that's gonna be on their team, the one that has the sharp nipples, you believe he's gonna be the toughest amongst all of them?
I think in the God Tournament he might be the strongest unless something happens between Goku and Vegeta. They just get that Zenkai boost or something. They just get pissed off and they go above and beyond what we know so far, which I believe might happen, or they could go in the way, I guess, that the nipple guy is the strongest, and that leads to something else after the tournament. You get me?
Absolutely, and we don't really know if he's able to transform or whatnot. I do believe he does possess some sort of transform state. So you're going with the one that gave Beerus the toughest battle. I mean, I still can't believe it, although it is kind of hard to believe that this short pipsqueak of a character that has really pointy nipples gave Beerus a better fight than Goku. So yeah, you're right about that. So, like, you're going with him. For me personally, I think it's definitely either gonna boil down to the guy that looks like Mira / Cell / Cooler on Champa's team, either him, or it's going to be Frost / Froze / the Frieza Clan's race member that's going to be on Champa's team. Because again, how do we know for an absolute fact that in Universe 6, the Frieza's race, they haven't already mastered, the 5th transformation level? Like, how do we know that they haven't already reached the same exact level Frieza did in Universe 7, except in Universe 6 they were able to perfect that? So again, we don't really know, like, what and where. I mean, we do know where Goku and Vegeta stand. They have been training in the hyperbolic time chamber for 3 years. That's a long ass time, and they haven't been just training for 3 years. They've been training as gods. So that is, like, really cool, because you're gonna have a god versus a god for 3 years straight, and now they're gonna be coming out the chamber stronger than ever. But even to believe for 1 second that there's someone out there even stronger, it's just mind-boggling. But of course, the guy that you're referring to is on Beerus' team. Now, what about Champa's team? Like, who do you think is the toughest on Champa's team? Like, again, it could be the Arcosians, it could be the Frieza Clan's race members, but then again, Akira Toriyama might swerve it. It might be the Bear, or again, as you just pointed out, it might be the Saiyan. So who do you think is going to be the strongest and the toughest on Champa's team?
You know what? That's so hard, especially because we don't have so much information on them. But like you said, it might be Winnie the Pooh, man. It might be Winnie the Pooh. I mean, you never know. He can just swerve it, and Broly can come out of that robot, as far as we know.
Broly comes out the robot. Yeah, Broly is in the robot. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
But damn, it's I would have to say Froze. It would go in between Froze, the Arcosian, and For me, it'd be the Saiyan. It would have to be the Saiyan. I feel like
Why the Saiyan though? Like, do you think like he has like that mysterious aura around him? Like, even though he seems like a short pipsqueak, he looks like Tarbalin in essence. Like, but you think that he is the one? Like, the question here that I pose to you is, like, is he capable of Super Saiyan transformation, or is he like is he able to even go as far as Super Saiyan God? I mean, even though it may sound far fetched, do you think it's possible?
I do think it's possible. There might be a possibility since it's like a different universe. It might not be the same transformations. There might not be Super Saiyan God per se. It could be another transformation, another Super Saiyan transformation from another universe, of course, that is just as strong, but is different. That'd be badass to see. But I do think it's possible, and I just want to see how that happens. And I just think since it's a Saiyan, I believe it has more potential, you know, to turn out into a crazy battle between Goku and that Saiyan, and or Vegeta and that Saiyan.
Absolutely, and people are already like speculating like who's gonna pair off with who. Some people are already speculating that Goku, since he's the team leader, he's gonna go at it with the team leader on Champas' team, which is the cooler guy. I forgot. I think his name is Hit or something like that. I mean, the
Yeah,
names
or
haven't been
Heat.
confirmed yet, like
Yeah.
officially by Toyotaro's manga. But again, people are already speculating that it's gonna be Boo and the bear and stuff. But what if they switch that up? What if they make Goku fight the yellow bear, and they make Vegeta fight they make Vegeta fight the robot, and Majin Buu's fighting, the Froze, aka the Arcosian Frieza's clansman, and we have Piccolo fight the team leader. I mean, anything could happen. I do think that the only thing that'll make sense here to tie it up on each end is to have an unexpected pair off. For example, like you have to have some people lose on Champa's team, just as you have to have some people lose on Beerus's team. That way,
Mhm.
it continuously evens out the odds, because you just can't have one team dominate the other. I mean, it loses its suspense value. But again, you do have three really strong ass characters on Beerus's team. Four if you want to count Majin Buu, and that's Goku, Vegeta, the pointy nipple dude, and of course you have Majin Buu. Piccolo, he's strong, but again, I don't think he's on the level of everyone else. And as you pointed out, we have the Saiyan, we have the Arcosian, and we have the guy that looks like Mira, Foss, Cell, whatever you want to call him. Let's just call him Team Leader. But you think the Saiyan, right? You think the Saiyan just might be the one that's the toughest and strongest on their respective team?
I think right now he's kind of the underdog because we already have Saiyans, you know. So we're expecting something else to come up other than a Saiyan. That's what everyone's expecting. You hear Ramstal talking about Frost and it's his favorite race, you know.
Absolutely.
And so we're all expecting, okay, either Winnie the Pooh, Frost, or the Cell Mira freaking looking thing is gonna come up and just, or the robot's gonna come up and be the strongest. I think
You'll
right now
never
we're,
know. Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
It's an unexpected swerve. Now, going back to what you said about Broly, and I really hate to say this, but this brings up a very good point. If you look at when Broly transformed, right? Broly was like this really tall, skinny, kind of like, puny looking character at
Yeah.
first. In his base form, he didn't really look that opposing. When he transformed into a Super Saiyan, he had definition, he grew in size, and then obviously when he became a legendary Super Saiyan, he just grew massively. He was the biggest Saiyan possibly ever. Now, that could essentially happen with this Saiyan. I mean, he may look small and puny in stature, but as he continuously transforms,
Oh,
he may
damn,
have a
true.
bigger frame. He may he may look very intimidating. So Vegeta at first, for example, may step up to the plate and say, "Hey, I'm the prince in my universe. Like, who are you?"
Mhm.
Like, you never really know. So, and then as Vegeta battles this guy, he may have the upper hand until this dude transforms. He has a bigger frame, increases in height and mass and stuff. So, like, anything could really happen. So, I'm really intrigued by what you said, because you're going with the Saiyan on this one. For me personally, I think that yes, it might be Frost, Froze, the Arcosian that's on Champa's team, because again, when Goku and Vegeta came across everyone else, the first person they noticed was him, because automatically they just assumed Frieza, because they just got done fighting Frieza. And again, we don't know what he's capable of. We don't know if they already mastered that fifth form. We don't know how. Well, first of all, we don't know how many forms this dude has. We don't know if he's ready in his first form, second form, whatever. We don't know where exactly it stems from. But essentially, everyone often compares Frieza to like all the other characters, like Cooler and stuff. Oh, Frieza's the highest. We don't know if this dude surpasses Frieza in power. I mean, he may be weaker, he may be stronger. Again, guys, this is only mere speculation. But who do you think is going to be the weakest on both Beerus's team and Champa's team? Because for me, I think, sadly enough, I hate to say this, I think it's going to be Piccolo. And over on the respective side of Champa, I do believe it's going to be the robots. So, like, what are your thoughts on that?
All right. So first, I want to say before I say that, a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people would kind of be upset if the Frieza character ended up being the strongest because we just finished with Frieza, and we're gonna go with another Frieza race. You know, a lot of people. That's what a lot of people would think.
Absolutely.
So we're going. Who's the weakest? All right. So I'm gonna go with the benefit of the doubt with Piccolo. I'm gonna say somehow he becomes some damn Namekian godlike creature, right? He just finds a way, some Namekian old ritual, and somehow he becomes a Namekian god. And
Now, by
so I would.
Namekian God, do you mean like he actually transforms, or do you believe like he possesses or obtains some sort of energy that at least allows him to be equivalent to Buu or higher? Because, yeah, you just said Namekian God, and there's no confirmation on that because we do know of Saiyan gods. Like, so who are we as fans to say
Mhm.
that there isn't such thing as Namekian gods or whatever the case may be? Even though it doesn't seem plausible, it just seems like Piccolo is a very good choice because he's very smart. But then again, he's weak. So in order for him to be a part of this tournament, he has to be strong. So I'm pretty sure he's going to train alongside Whis or whoever's going to train him. And I do believe he's going to possess somewhat of a power boost that's going to allow him to increase in strength dramatically and drastically. But do you think he's going to be like surpassing Buu here? Or like, what are your thoughts on his power level? Like, how strong is he going to be? Like under Vegeta, under Goku, above Buu, or like below Buu? How do you think this is going to work?
I believe it's gonna be the same as Boo, just
Same as Buu.
about, maybe just the same. But the edge that Piccolo has is he's strategic
Yes.
and he can think. Right, Boo's just a Boo. You know, he can't really think much. But Piccolo's a smart fighter, very strategic, and knows what he's doing. So I think they'll be at the same power. But Piccolo will have the edge because he could think and he could do all these things that Boo can't. You know.
But in terms of being the weakest character, you're going with Piccolo on this one?
I'm gonna go with Boo's gonna be the weakest for
Boo's going to
Team
be the
Beerus.
weakest. Wow, that's a swerve. Okay. And what about on Champa's team?
On Champas' team. Okay, that's hard because we're all speculating who's gonna be the strongest, and I would have to go with the robot too, because I mean we don't know much about the robot. We're just expecting it to be a robot. I mean we don't know what it can do. What if it sucks God Ki out of its hands or something?
Absolutely.
That would be absolutely horrible for Goku and Vegeta and a super weakness. You know, I mean it'd be like throwing fire inside the water, pretty much. That'd be really difficult for them to win, but I'm pretty sure they'll be able to pull something out of their ass, you know?
But you definitely think it's going to be the robot by some chance?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the robot.
Well, that's a very interesting choice of event. I mean, I do think it's the robot too. But then again, Akira, he loves to swerve the fans, and I love that about him because he's different in essence. Like every time you would assume something. Like for example, we think it might be the robot that might be the weakest, but in fact, it might be the Arcosian. It might be Froze. It might be Frost. Like he might be the weakest, and the robot might be the strongest. Who knows? I mean, who are we to say? That's why it's fun to speculate. But again, I think whatever happens during this tournament, it's going to be epic because there's going to be multiple stories. We have the God tournament obviously happening, and then we have Bulma and Jocko and everyone else searching for these Dragon Balls and searching for these answers as to what's going on. And then we have Gohan's story. We have Gohan presenting these speeches and stuff. I mean, it's really interesting because he's at a press conference, he's doing his thing. Although, a lot of Gohan fans are going to be pissed out of their minds, and they still are. I get that. It would have been a little different if they would have had Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and the fifth fighter, which is the nipple guy, because obviously he is a Saiyan as well. I mean, even though he doesn't possess God energy, his max is what, an ultimate, Super Saiyan, of course. But of course, he lost that power in essence. So he like what, max out Super Saiyan 1 or 2. But needless to say, there's going to be multiple stories here, and that's what I think is going to be fun about Dragon Ball Super thus far. But yeah, let us know what you guys think down below, your overall thoughts and opinions on who's the strongest, who's the toughest, and who's the weakest. And once again, guys, thank you all for watching. Check out JrzSaiyan on YouTube, guys. He is incredibly awesome. He's a fun dude. And if you guys have any questions or comments, comment down below. And on that note, any last words from you, Mr. JR?
Not much. I mean, y'all have an amazing, blessed day, like I always like to say. You can sign out, Alex.
And on that note, guys, we'll be seeing you all in the next discussion. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.